Hi guys, yet another sunny day out here. I'm working on the garden. I just finished tilling the third of the long plots, and I've still got the two smaller ones to do. And I had an idea of maybe doing a review on a little electric tiller. I picked this up from Princess Auto, which is like the Canadian version of Harbor Freight. It's an Earthwise 8.5 amp tiller cultivator, and I bought this because obviously, like most people, I can't afford a gas powered one, so I figured I'd show how well this little machine actually works if any of you guys are debating on buying one. I've got the generator down here because my extension cords won't reach from the house, or I don't want to run too many, so I'm going to warm that up, and I'm going to dig a new plot right from scratch through the grass because I want to plant some rhubarb here, so I figured it'd be a good demonstration of how well this thing works. Now this, I'm going to warn you ahead of time, this soil here is basically just fill with a very thin layer of topsoil, so I'm going to hit some rocks, I know it, big rocks, and when this thing hits rocks, it either pulls out the small ones or it just hops around, and I might have to get the shovel and dig out some big ones, so it could take a little longer than planned. But if you have topsoil that's fairly thick, or a garden that you've already started and you're looking for something to till it, I think this will be a good option for you. So I'm going to warm up the generator and we'll start digging here. Okay, so you can see that took about, I'd say 10 minutes, and most of that grass is chewed up. There's still some clumps in there and some bigger rocks I need to pick out. I'm going to dump in some compost, and then we'll use the tiller again to mix it all up, and then I'll be ready to plant some rhubarb. Actually, before I move on, you can see here, I just raked all the tilled material to the side, and you can see this little tiller digs about 8 to 10 inches down, and I mentioned that this was fill with a little bit of topsoil on top, so I'm going to dig down just a little bit into the fill. So I'd like to have about a foot of soft soil for the roots to really dig in as deep as they want to. So I'm going to take the tiller again. This is where I'm going to hit some bigger rocks, and I'll need to shovel those out. Then I'll move this soil from one half back over. I'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll throw the compost in, mix all that up. Okay, now let's add the compost. And you can see the tiller mixed up that soil real nice. Most of the grass is chopped up into small pieces. The bigger chunks sometimes get flung out. Some of the smaller ones, the tines aren't able to actually grab it, so it just moves it around. So eventually those will just decompose in the soil, or maybe they'll start to sprout again, but just pull them out and eventually there's no more grass in there. But it does a really good job. I ended up making this 4x4 little plot. This probably took about half an hour or so. It mixed up real well. Very tough little machine. This is I think I paid about $120 for this at Princess Auto, which is like the Canadian version of Harbor Freight. Brand is Earthwise. I'm sure you'll find something rebadged, made by the same company, or another company that has something fairly similar. This one's 8.5 amps. It has more than enough power to do everything I needed it to do. You saw it cut through the lawn grass right there. And if I look down here, this has looks like an aluminum or a cast case, and I've hit some big rocks with this, and I don't think anything is bent or broken. There's some maybe shear pins here. There's some bolts there. I'm not sure if they're designed to shear or not, but they still have it. And some of the rocks that I've hit are like 5-6 pounds quite often. I've hit some really big ones, like maybe 20 pounds, that I've had to dig out with a shovel, and it survived every time. So I think they're worth every penny. I still plan on getting a gas powered one because my garden's fairly big. You can see the 3 plots I have down there. And then there's 2 more here that I have to till, and now this one. So it's starting to get bigger, and I may even connect those, so it might get even bigger than that. So I think I'm going to need a gas powered one at one point. But this does the job, and for the price, it's a little more work physically, but it does a good job. So it might be something for you guys to look into. So I've run this thing in 30-degree heat. No problem, no lack of power, no difference in performance. The thing works fantastic. So I think they're a good choice for people. Let me know in the comments if you have one that doesn't perform the same. This brand is apparently American made. I've never heard of them before. There may be something similar out there, maybe a rebadged unit, but I think pretty worthwhile investment for anyone that has a small garden, or even a medium-sized garden that doesn't mind doing a little more work. So let me know in the comments if you guys have something similar, what you think of this unit, what you think of my garden. If you've liked this video and watched the whole thing through, please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.